So is it about substance, or is it about packaging?
That's unexpected. I must say, you fight well.
Now put that in your pipe and smoke it.
So good morning, this is Lucky Lynx. So here's the thing. This is a subject that's been coming up a lot lately, and I've been thinking about it since yesterday. I was in a Tibetan shop in Berkeley, and the gentleman there, who was the son of the owner, was telling me about his father and how they lost, in the 50s they lost their home in Tibet because the Chinese kicked out the Tibetans and basically crushed the religion, which, for those of you who don't know, the Buddhists came in and did the same thing to the Bon. So there's this history of people losing their traditions there, right? We were talking about how, and his father is actually Bon, and and I said, I've been doing this for 12 years. It's transformed my life. It changed my life. And he said, that's beautiful to hear, because people are dismissing this. This stuff is dying, and you read old texts. This is the old Chinese texts too. The things like Lao Tzu and Cheng Tzu, and even the old Sumerian stuff and the old Sumerian magic, and there's all sorts of old stories and things that have stuff in there that we're losing. We're losing this stuff. People are losing touch with themselves because their main concern is what kind of car they can buy and what the new movie is out, and they're losing touch with who they are. They're losing touch with their own power. Humans are capable of so much more than we think. The things we're settling for are they're really tiny. We're so grateful we can get a bag of chips, and that's so small in the bigger, in terms of our power and our potential and our ability to be actualized. There comes a point when, and I say this all the time, there comes a point when you can only get so far when you do it on your own. And this was the part that I reached where I got frustrated, and this is the part where I think a lot of the best sellers and things out there do us a disservice. You get to a point where you're going through practicing on your own and searching on your own, and I get it. I did this. I have done the same thing in my life. I read everything I could get. I was reading through all the religions and all the, because I didn't like the way the religions treated people. I didn't like the way they treated people. They were horrible to them. And then when I found, when I was a kid and I found the New Age stuff, it seemed to be more exciting and more dynamic and more like of an exploration of your own power and stuff like that. But it's been manipulated over these last 20 years. It's been usurped by the same people who have usurped every other religion and every other system out there. That's why you get to a certain point and you feel stuck. You get stuck. You can't go any further. And the reason for that is that our very nature and our very limits prevent us from going past the thing that we're uncomfortable to see. And the reason that I've been saying so much lately, it's important to find a lineage and a master, is because it gets you past that thing that you're stuck with, that you can't see, that you're uncomfortable with. Sometimes the thing that is the biggest plank in your eye, and I love this quote from Jesus, from one of the parables. He said, don't be a hypocrite. Take the plank out of your eye before you try to get the sliver out of someone else's eye. So don't think that you can set yourself up as a master before you've gotten the plank out of your eye. That means that you've got blind spots. And the reason that one sets themselves up in a lineage, even yoga. I mean, sometimes doing yoga with a master, you can't get past a certain pose, and the person who really knows, who's been there, goes, "Oh, I see what you're doing. Try this." and they'll tell you, you move your hands a certain way that you didn't even realize you weren't doing, and then suddenly the whole pose comes together for you. Or Qigong, you know, you keep at it, and the master goes, wait, no, you put your feet in, and then suddenly it all comes together. It's the same thing with anything. You get to a certain point where you're stuck, and you can't see the thing, because it's the very plank in your eye that you can't see past. It's your very blind spot. And it's the master who's been there, or the one who has been there before, who knows the road, knows the terrain intimately, can say, hey, this is the spot. And if they really know what they're doing, they can have you ask a question of yourself then, or put you in a position where you naturally find that plank. Not tells you, not lectures you, not says this is how it's supposed to be done, but they help you to put you in the situation where you find the plank yourself and you go, oh my gosh, this is my plank. And then that's when real transformation happens. I'm Lucky Lynx, as always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. I hope this makes some sense why I have been emphasizing so much the need sometimes to go outside of ourselves. I do believe that the answer is inside of us, because people have been criticizing me lately for saying, well, this is enlightenment's inside of us, compassion's inside of us. Yes, but there's a plank in some cases that's keeping us from seeing how to unlock it. There's a key sometimes that we don't have that unlocks the lock that we've locked. And yeah, in the end, you're the one that has to lock it or unlock it. But sometimes someone else shows you how to fashion the key. Hey, if you want to take a tarot class, I got an intro to tarot coming in a week or so, beginning of July. Message me for details. I'm going to take a storyteller's approach, 779-302-8009, or conjurehope@gmail.com. I've also got a intermediate to advanced tarot class. I've got a crystal ball scrying class. I've got one in Mexican Loteria, which is a whole lot of fun. I got one in playing cards, and I got one in, I think I got one more. I got two more. I got 7 classes. I got in Lenormand and basic Lenormand and the Grand Tableau. And then if you'd like to get a reading for me, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. I'd be happy to set you up with a reading. And then those of you who have donated, thank you so much for all the generous donations. And I'm going to put my PayPal and Venmo below. If you're getting something out of these videos and you want to donate to help keep them coming, I really appreciate it. I'm putting the Venmo and the PayPal below. And if you're interested in the retreat that's happening here in Northern California, where His Holiness Padma Gampo Rinpoche, my master, whom I've been a student of for 12 years, building a temple, a Tibetan Bon temple here in Northern California. There is a 1-week retreat coming up, and I'm going to put the link to the video where I talk about that below if you want to check it out. And if you want to become a friend with His Holiness Padma Gampo Rinpoche, he's on Facebook now. You can talk to him directly. So remember, get out there and find that blind spot. Sometimes we need help finding that blind spot. Sometimes the blind spot itself is the very thing that prevents us from being able to get past the block that we have.